Do you find yourself always thinking about food? From the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to bed, all you can think about is your next meal. You may even have found yourself constantly negotiating with yourself about calories and what you will eat next based on what you have already eaten. If you answered yes, then you're not alone. So many women struggling with emotional eating and overeating experience what's often referred to as food noise. So that constant, often overwhelming chatter about food that leaves you feeling exhausted and trying to battle with yourself. But where does this food noise come from and why is it so persistent? I'm Sarah Parker and I'm the founder of Be Free Health Coaching. I'm a certified health coach, life coach, and emotional and binge eating specialist. And in today's video, I will break down the causes of food noise. So why it affects so many women and how understanding it is the first step towards overcoming emotional and binge eating. Now, let's start with some of the root causes of food noise. So diet culture and restriction. So the pressure to look a certain way, whether it's through society's expectations, social media, or the endless stream of perfect bodies on social media, can cause us to always be comparing ourselves to other women. So whether it's in the gym or out on the streets or when scrolling on Instagram, that voice pops up saying, why can't I look like that? And that then leads to putting pressure on yourself to lose weight or get in shape in the only way that we know how, by restricting food and even over-exercising or overtraining. And that creates a biological response in your body. It disrupts your hormones and actually causes you to be more hungry and constantly thinking about food. And often by the time the evening comes around, women are worn down and end up binging or overeating at night. This can be a direct response from undereating during the day. Then there is past dieting experience and conditioning. So society today gives out so many food rules. You can't switch on social media, visit any media outlet or do anything, especially online, without seeing articles of eat this, not that. One thing that will get rid of your belly fat. The new superfood that will make you live forever. Then there are the social media ads that target women with endless weight loss ads. Even meeting up with friends and in social groups, outside the school gates, the talk is around diets and weight loss and who's on the new weight loss jabs. It just goes on and it's endless. So it's no wonder you can't stop thinking about food and weight when our society is absolutely obsessed with it. And it's everywhere. The new obsession with weight loss jabs are only making it worse, with women now feeling the pressure to lose weight as friends around them start shrinking. And with so many, articles and advice on what to eat and what not to, and advice that constantly changes, and with years or even decades of dieting and food rules, we have tried to live by, but it just feels like constant negotiation in your head that drives you crazy. And you just want it all to stop for even just 5 minutes. The battle with the noise in your head can even drive you to think, sod it, I don't even care anymore, and just eat just to shut it up all the time and get some peace. But of course, it doesn't last forever, and you end up feeling guilty and berating yourself for it. And on it goes. That's why it's crucial to get some kind of professional help with this. This won't go away on its own. Sure, you can try to mask it with a weight loss jab, but it will come back again because you've not got to the root cause. So as a health and life coach for women struggling with emotional and binge eating, I help women understand actually what's driving their food noise, help them create balanced meals they actually enjoy, and give them enough fuel, as well as also reframing the way that they think about food and weight and relearning how to talk to themselves in a more self-compassionate way, so they can have a healthier relationship with food and with their body. And you can learn more about my one-to-one health coaching programs over at befreehealthcoaching.co.uk and book in for a free clarity call if you'd like to explore working together. Now, there are also emotional triggers. So many women who struggle with food noise are unknowingly trying to use food as a way to manage their emotions. Food becomes a source of comfort when you're feeling, anxious, stressed, lonely, bored. When emotions are intense, food noise actually becomes louder because the brain begins to associate eating with a sense of relief. And over time, this emotional attachment to food reinforces the constant noise. That's why working with a professional who actually understands the link between emotions and eating habits is crucial. So it's important you learn to recognize the emotions that are triggering your overeating or binge eating and therefore your food noise, and learn more healthy coping mechanisms. And until you do that, then the cycle will continue. Then hormone changes can also be a factor. So hormones play a significant role in our hunger and fullness cues. For women, this is especially true during, periods of hormonal change, such as the menstrual cycle, pregnancy, or menopause. So when your hormones shift, your appetite can change dramatically. And this can amplify food noise, and you may feel hungrier than usual, and cravings and urges to binge may intensify. And hormones all affect how your body responds to hunger and fullness. That's why it's not uncommon for women to start binge eating behaviours for the first time in their 40s when they're entering perimenopause. And due to the underreporting of binge eating behaviours, due to women feeling ashamed of their eating, this is often not recognised as a symptom of perimenopause. Then there is a lack of mindfulness and connection with your body. So when you are disconnected from your body, it's very difficult to notice the feelings that arise. It's difficult to notice when you are hungry and when you aren't. And it's very common for women who struggle, with emotional and overeating to notice hunger and fullness cues. But when we are not aware, then it's very difficult to identify when you're actually hungry and when you aren't. But, craving food just to avoid or distract yourself from something. So it's very difficult to differentiate between the two if you're not actually feeling connected to your body. So how can you quiet the food noise? So while the causes of food noise can feel overwhelming, there are ways to calm the mental chatter and begin changing how you behave around food. So one is to practice mindful eating. So becoming more aware of your eating habits can help reduce food noise. So practicing intuitive eating and really starting to trust your own intuition around food rather than, what other people have told you to eat. Learning to manage emotions without food is really the key one. So emotional triggers can often create a craving for food, but learning to cope with emotions in healthier ways can help you gain control. So things like, journaling, meditation, breathing exercises, self-care, setting boundaries, or talking to, a supportive friend or a professional are great tools to use when emotions arise. Then there is dismantling the diet mentality, which is another big one. So if you're stuck in the cycle of dieting and restriction, then it's really time to move away from that. So avoid labeling foods as, good or bad, and instead try to embrace a more balanced approach to eating and learning to trust yourself around food. You really want to challenge your thoughts as well. So the voice inside your head that tells you to eat something bad or that you're not allowed to have a certain food can be challenging to overcome. So, but by challenging, these negative thoughts and replacing them with, positive, thoughts and reframing how you look at food and weight, then you can start to shift the food noise and you can start to reduce your emotional and binge eating. So seeking professional support from a specialist as well. So if food noise is a consistent struggle for you, then don't hesitate to speak out and get support from a professional. It's very hard to overcome this on your own, and online advice will only get you so far. So as a health and life coach, an emotional and binge eating specialist, and someone who's actually struggled with this personally, then I understand exactly what you are going through and can help you understand why you struggle so much with food. Now, my private health coaching programs are specifically for emotional and binge eating help. They're to reduce the constant food noise, build a healthier relationship with food and your body, and finally break free from emotional and overeating for good. You can learn more and book in for a free clarity call over at befreehealthcoaching.co.uk. And working with someone who understands both the emotional and physical aspects of eating can be incredibly beneficial in reducing the intensity of food noise and building healthier habits. Now remember, food noise doesn't have to control your life. By understanding its root causes and taking mindful steps to address emotional triggers, dietary patterns, and negative thoughts, you can actually start to reclaim peace around food. So remember, healing is a journey and it's okay to take small steps along the way. But with the right tools and support, you really can quiet the food noise and create a different kind of life for yourself and a more balanced relationship with yourself and your body.